Good morning, friends. Today I'm going to explain you a topic of macroeconomics, that is multiplier. As the name suggests you, macroeconomics means the topic is not just related to a particular industry or a particular market or a particular individual. It is basically related to the whole economy. Okay, so the topic multiplier. This concept is first propounded by Professor Khan in 1931 in his article Relation of Home Investment to Unemployment. In this topic, Professor Khan says that, for instance, a dollar is earned by a person, and that is spent on consumption goods. So it is an income for other person also. But in other case, if this dollar is not only spent but also saved, that is, this one particular dollar is divided into two parts, that is consumption and that is saving. So some part of it is consumed and some part of it is saved. The part that is saved is further sparks the process that is known as multiplier. Basically, Professor Khan relates to the topic of multiplier with employment as well as savings. So how it is related with employment? Professor Khan said that if the employment generates in public works, suppose in drainage, in roads building, in digging, etc., employment increases. So it increases the income of the workers. This increased income is basically spent on further consumption of goods. So the demand of consumption goods has increased, and because of this increased demand, the employment in consumption goods industries also increased. So if there is an increase in the employment in a particular industry, it also increased the employment in other industries also. This is the employment multiplier that is given by Professor Khan. Professor Keynes, who is another well-renowned economist, taken the idea of multiplier and propounded a new theory, that is investment multiplier. Professor Keynes has said that there is a relationship between the income, investment, employment, consumption, and savings also. He said, if there is an increase in investment, it leads to the increase in income, which further helps in increase in the investment also. How? I can explain you in layman language. For instance, Professor Keynes has said कि अगर हम किसी इंडस्ट्री में इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं, सपोज वी आर डूइंग एन इन्वेस्टमेंट इन अ पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री, सो इससे क्या होगा? देयर इज एन इंक्रीज इन द इनकम इन द इकोनॉमी. पर्टिकुलर पर्सन की जब इनकम इंक्रीज होती है, सो वो मोर प्रोडक्ट्स एंड कंजम्पशन गुड्स की डिमांड करना स्टार्ट कर देता है, जिससे कंजम्पशन गुड्स एंड की जो इंडस्ट्री होती है उसकी इनकम इंक्रीज होगी. सो दैट इनकम इज फर्दर इन्वेस्टेड. So this is basically a cycle. So an increase in investment, if we invest in a particular area, it will help in further increase in income, that will help in further increase in the investment. Okay. Professor Keynes has said that there is a relationship in multiplier with the consumption and savings. If the multiplier is equals to 1, that means the whole of the increment in income is saved by a individual. So it means there is no further increase in investment. And if the multiplier is infinite, it means the whole income is spent by a customer, by a consumer in the economy. So that means the further increase in the income is 100%. The multiplier process basically lies between the 1 and the infinity. The multiplier process works in two ways, that is in forward operation, in backward operation. In forward operation, if an industry invests in particular arena, it means there is a further increase in consumption that will help in further increase in income, which is saved, which is 50% is saved and 50% is consumed and again invested in the economy. We can take an example. For instance, we are investing in an economy in 100 crores rupees, okay, and our marginal propensity to consumption is half, 1/2, or we can say 0.5. So it means half of the amount is spent and half of the amount is saved. So the amount which is consumed, which is spent on consumption goods and services, further spent in the economy for further increase in income and investment. I can tell you again, okay? सपोज हम 100 करोड़ रुपीस का किसी एक इंडस्ट्री में इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं, उसका 50% हम कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं इकोनॉमी में और उसका 50% हम सेव कर रहे हैं. जो सेविंग अमाउंट है वो तो इन्वेस्ट हो ही रहा है, लेकिन जो कंजम्पशन अमाउंट है वो फर्दर हम दूसरे प्रोडक्ट्स को परचेज करने में स्पेंड करेंगे. सो ऑटोमेटिकली अदर गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज की डिमांड इंक्रीज हो जाएगी. जब दूसरे प्रोडक्ट्स की डिमांड इंक्रीज हो जाएगी तो वो अपनी इंडस्ट्री को बढ़ती हुई डिमांड के अकॉर्डिंग कंपाइल करने के लिए दोबारा से उसमें इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, न्यू प्रोडक्ट्स परचेज करेंगे ताकि वो बढ़ती हुई डिमांड को मीट कर सके. सो इट इंक्रीज फर्दर इन्वेस्टमेंट. जब उनकी वो डिमांड आप कंज्यूम कर लेते हैं, इकोनॉमी कंज्यूम करेगी, तो वो कैसे कंज्यूम करेगी? वो स्पेंड करेगी, तो मार्केट में फिर से अमाउंट इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. दिस इज बेसिकली अ मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट. दिस इज बेसिकली अ साइकिल. ओके, आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड यू previously also कि this is a cycle. If there is an increase in the investment, it leads to increase in income, which further leads to increase in the investment again. Okay, this is a forward operation. But in case multiplier operates backwardly, means if there is higher the multiplier, lower will be the investment in an economy, means the consumers more save rather than consume in a particular economy. In such a case, the multiplier effect decreases the investment rather than increase. This is the multiplier effect that works backwardly. Multiplier effect की कुछ assumptions होते हैं without which we can't apply multiplier on an economy. We can't say that the multiplier effect is operating in an economy. Number first, there must be a closed economy, no foreign influences. There must be an industrialized economy. Okay. Number third is no time lags, less than full employment in the economy exist, and there is no change in the prices of the products in an economy. But there are some leakages in the multiplier effect. Leakages, what are the leakages? Leakages means the multiplier process, we are thinking that the income is spent and on the consumption goods and services, but in case the income which is earned, which is increased, or we can say the increased income is not spent on the consumption goods and services, or because of the other factors, the income is leaking, is diverting in other sources. For instance, we can take a first point, that is saving. If more part of the increased income is saved, then the income is not increased, is not spending on the consumption goods and services. It means the income is not coming directly in the economy. Okay. Second point is strong liquidity preference. If the people have the liquidity preference, means they want to hoard more money rather than to save in bank or rather than to spend, but they are hoarding more money with themselves for speculative purposes, for precautionary motive, anything. Number third point is because of the taxation policy. If progressive taxes are imposed, means the richer pay more taxes and the poor pay less taxes. In such a case, the increased income gone to government directly rather than in spending on purchasing consumption goods and services. Okay, now the number fourth point is the old stocks. If the company has a excessive old stocks that is sufficient to meet the current increased demand, in such a case there is no arena to invest further. उसके पास स्पेस ही नहीं. अगर इंडस्ट्री के पास ऑलरेडी इतना स्टॉक रिमेनिंग है कि कितनी भी डिमांड बढ़ जाए अप टू अ सर्टेन लिमिट, वो जो ओल्ड स्टॉक से उसको फुलफिल कर सकता है. सो उसको न्यू इन्वेस्टमेंट की कोई नीड नहीं पड़ेगी. जब नया इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं होगा तो जो दूसरे प्रोडक्ट्स तो मार्केट में, इकोनॉमी में फर्दर इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं क्रिएट होगा, तो इनकम का लीकेज होना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. देयर इज एन लीकेज इन द economy. Okay, and there is one more point is imports. If we are spending more on imported goods rather than on the domestic goods, so it shows we are spending, our money is leaking to the foreign country rather than in our country. So in that case हम further investment अपनी ही economy में नहीं कर पाएंगे. So these are the basically the leakages. What are if we have more savings, we have more strong liquidity preference, if we have interested in imported goods, if we have progressive taxation policy, if we have if we have old stock that is sufficient to meet the increased demands. So the income which is, if there is an increment in investment does not lead to further increase in income and further increase in investment also. So these are the leakages of multiplier. So today in this session, I have explained you about the multiplier, about its working, its assumptions and its the leakages. If you have any query, please write in the comment section. Thank you.